Welcome to the channel. Thank you everybody for tuning in. So back to reviewing the Seiko Conceptual series SUR319P1. So I left you guys after I did the unboxing and the resizing of the bracelet, and the question I posed is this a good enough budget alternative to the Seiko Sarb033? Now, I've had this watch on for a few days, given it a good test run, and I have to say, I absolutely do love this watch. I think it's such a great quartz watch from Seiko. I think it's been a good while since they've given us something similar to this. Now, just to recap for everybody who hasn't seen the unboxing video, I'll leave the specs and dimensions to your right on screen. But I got this watch from a jewelers called Francis James Jewelers. I got it for £150 as opposed to the RRP of £190. Now, by the time this video is out, I'm assuming they might still have these available. So if you do want to check them out, I'll leave the link within the description below. So in this review, I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like about this watch. I'll keep it simple. Now, one of the things I like is the fact that they are using sapphire crystal. We don't see this on watches of this nature from Seiko, especially at this price point. So for them to go ahead and finally give a sapphire on a very basic quartz watch, which is what it is absolutely incredible. I like that, so let's give them credit, because I am always knocking them for not giving us the right specs and being overpriced. And second thing, again, price, even at a RRP of £190, I think it's okay. But when it's on sale and you get it for £150 brand new, it's also not a bad deal. Now, the other thing which I do really like about this watch, and what drew me to this watch, and probably what will draw you to the watch, is the fact that it does have this jet black gloss dial, which of course is very similar to the Sarb033, and this is why we kind of want this style of watch, and this is why this watch would make a great alternative to the Sarb033. And with this deep glossy black dial, you also get the perfectly applied chamfered and polished hour markers. You've got the dual baton 12, 6, and at the 9, and of course at the 3, you've got that beveled date window. So these are the two features I also like on top of this black dial, is the fact that the polishing is so good on these hour markers, and I said neatly applied, and the polished hour markers bounce back that light beautifully against this deep black background. You also got highly polished Dauphine hour hands with a stick like second hand, so there is some really nice detailing present on this dial. And while the finishing is quite simple, it gives it a very understated look. Now, the date frame has also the same level of detail with that beveling present and that polishing. So it does give an added touch of luxury to this watch. You can see here, as the light bounces off those polished finishes, it gives it a really classy look, which can be comparable to the Sarb033. Now, while I like how this dial has been done, there is a couple of things which I don't like. I don't like how short that second hand is. I would like it to be slightly longer, and also don't really like how it doesn't hit any of the markers. And I think this will bother a few other people as well. Now, with regard to the date, I would have liked to see a black date wheel, but in my mind, that would have finished off this dial aesthetic really well. The lume's really good on this watch. It's more than adequate. It's a dress/sports watch. It doesn't need to be any brighter. And to my left, I do also have the Sarb, so you can see there's not much difference between the two. Now, aside from the dial, the next best thing that I do really love about the watch is the case. I think they've done some really nice things with the case, and it is quite unexpected. You've got a mixture of brushing and polishing. The bezel itself is fully polished, and I've already given it some scuff marks, so that is easily scuffed, being a highly polished surface. Moving along to the side of the case, you'll see this horizontal brushing, very finely done, and you'll see some linear brushing across the lugs. Now, the thing which does stand out, and if you've been watching my videos, you'll know I absolutely love it when watches do this to the cases, is this polished highlight that you can see along the side profile of the case. I really do love that when watchmakers do this. So to see this on a £150 watch, to me, is absolutely incredible. It adds another dimension to the case. It makes the case look a lot better than it actually is, and it just adds to that finishing. There has been a lot of attention to detail gone into this. The crown is polished. There's no signage, of course. It's small. It's a push-pull crown. Obviously, it could do with being just slightly bigger, but I think it's in proportion with the diameter of the case. Another thing which I like is dimensions. I did mention earlier that the 36mm diameter case might be a bit small for most people, but for my 6.5-inch wrist, it fits it just perfectly fine. With the 8.5mm thickness as well, I think this watch is such a good fit. Slips under the cuff, giving it that sporty/dressy sort of look. Now, moving on to the bracelet, you know what, bracelet is a cheap bracelet, don't get me wrong. It does jangle, it does rattle, it does move side to side as well, which I don't think is a problem at all. And the link removal system that I showed you guys in the unboxing is very nice and easy to use. But the bracelet is finished really well. You can see this satinized brushing across all the links. links are hollow, but they fit like solid end links with that female link there, so it makes the watch wear just that little bit better. So these are actually solid links, and they are in a faux 3-link design, and you've got the sides of these inner links with these polished sort of detailing here. It really does add to the quality of the watch. It matches the polished finishing present elsewhere on the watch as well. Moving on to the clasp, it is only a 2 micro adjust clasp. It's quite short, and it does have a stamped folded center clasp, which, you know, it's not ideal, but you're not going to get milled, are you, at this price point from Seiko? If they had put it in, absolutely incredible, but they haven't. And, you know, for the most part, I do like these clasps on the Seikos. That I've had no issues with them. They are a step above than those cheap and nasty stamped clasps that we see. They're slightly formed. It does give them a bit of strength. Nice positive click, and that's it really. So to summarize, the only 2 things which I don't like is the fact that the second hand doesn't hit every marker, and it is just a touch short. Aside from that, I think everything is really good. Sapphire crystal, you know, great dimensions, £150. Back to the price again. So to answer the question, is it a great budget alternative to the Seiko Sarb033? I do think it is. You know, £150 versus the 600 odd pounds that these are going for. Absolutely ridiculous money. This is a nice quartz watch. You don't need to pay too much attention when you're wearing it. As I said, it's only £150, but it's got some great similarities, being the dial setup is very similar and the hands are very similar. So I think it's a good alternative, definitely. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on this? Let me put them on wrist and compare them side by side. So you can see the Seiko Conceptual fits dead on center on my 6.5-inch wrist. Really nicely sized. But you do get with these clasps, you know, they do kind of stick out. Really nice case, gorgeous brushing, really lovely polishing around the sides. Catches light beautifully, jet black dial with these polished hands and hour markers. So overall, I'm really happy with this purchase. And side by side next to the Sarb, you can see, you know what, they don't look too bad. And I think this watch is a very good budget alternative, and something that if you were to purchase, you would be happy with it. So if you do want to purchase this watch, check out Francis James Jewelers, £150 while the stocks last. I'll leave the link within the description. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.